One snap, one gunshot, one impossible rewind. This is where Max Caulfield's world breaks in half, where time becomes a weapon she cannot control, where every choice spirals into consequences she never saw coming. And this is where mine begins, with a bug wearing headphones, blank eyes to see everything and nothing, and a Polaroid frame I've never attempted before. Stick around because we're about to capture the moment before everything changes. Here's where the magic starts. I'm coloring everything outside the Polaroid frame in these heavy grays. Dark, muted, almost like a static of an old TV. Really wanted to get that picnic look vibe with these grays, and if you think about it, this is the world outside the memory, the present, the reality that you can't escape. In Life is Strange, Max can rewind time, but only inside the moment she's standing in. Step outside that frame, everything becomes permanent. So these grays, they're not just background. They're the weight of the consequences, the storm building, the tornado bearing down on Arcadia Bay that Max sees in her vision. I'm layering it with multiple different tones of gray because storms don't come in one color. Neither do regrets. I've created coloring pages inspired by shows and movies before, but this one hits different. The second I saw this bug with headphones, I thought, Life is Strange. That game about photography, time travel, and choices that haunt you. So, I'm doing something risky, my first Polaroid effect. I've watched other creators nail these vintage vibes, and I always think, how do they make it look so easy? But what could go wrong, right? Here's the thing about Polaroids and Life is Strange. They're not just photographs, they're anchors. Max uses them to jump back through time to rewind to that exact moment and try again. So this border, it's not just protecting white space. It's defining the frame where memory lives, where color survives, where you can still return. Watch how the tape is protecting that inner world. That's the moment we're trying to freeze, the memory before it fades into gray. And now, we step inside the frame. This is where color lives, where memory holds onto the details that matter, the pattern on a blanket, the warmth of a moment, the feeling of the day that felt safe. I am making this a picnic blanket because that's what memory does. It takes ordinary moments and turns them into something worth preserving. A bug on a blanket becomes a photograph becomes an anchor point in time. Those headphones are the only thing connecting this creature to something beyond the frame. In the game, the soundtrack is everything. Indie folk that makes you ache for moments you never lived. This bug is listening to something we can't hear. Maybe it's the storm coming. Maybe it's the past calling. Maybe it's both. Or maybe it's just the cool music. In Life is Strange, there's this butterfly that appears throughout the game. But this isn't a butterfly. It's something heavier. Something that sits still on this colorful blanket and listens through those headphones to a world we can't hear. And now, on to the bug itself. I was going to keep the bug muted with some soft browns and stuff, but instead I decided that I wanted to give it more of a Max Caulfield look, with her pink shirt and her gray sweater and her blue jeans. And even then, inside the memory, inside the color, the subject itself is still fading. Max Caulfield can rewind time, but she can't rewind herself. She remembers every version of every conversation, every mistake she tried to fix, every choice that led to another choice that led to consequences she never saw coming. She is trapped inside her own memory, just like this bug is trapped inside this frame, surrounded by gray, holding on to color that's already starting to fade. Alright, the moment of truth. This is always the most nerve-wracking part. You never know if the tape took some of the paper with it, or if the edge is going to be clean. But look at that. The tape did take some of the paper with it, but the frame is still holding. The boundary between gray and color, between memory and reality is sharp and clean. But we're not done yet. This is where we make it permanent. I'm tracing the edge with this white paint pen, following exactly where the tape protected the paper. This outline is what makes it look like a real Polaroid photograph. It's like we're sealing the memory in, drawing the line between what can change and what's frozen forever. In Life is Strange, Max takes Polaroids throughout the game. Each one is a save point, a moment she can return to. But the photograph itself, that never changes. It's locked in time. And now, so is this. A bug with headphones and blank eyes, resting on a colorful picnic blanket, trapped inside a Polaroid frame, surrounded by gray. This is what Life is Strange feels like. Vibrant memories surrounded by the weight of everything that came after. Color fighting against the gray. Moments you can revisit but never truly change. So, here's my question for you. If you could freeze one moment in a Polaroid and return to it whenever you wanted, but never change it, only relive it, what moment would you choose? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you next time. Bye!